This is going to be a quick overview of how to work on some of these older ArcGIS maps and extract the underlying geodata. So you've seen how to use ArcGIS.com. Here, things are a little less clear. I can click around and see basic information, but I don't have a direct link to like an ArcGIS server. And someone's asked me to download the ward precinct, township precinct kind of areas. So we can right click, inspect, or Command Op J, and that'll open up the JavaScript HTML console. Don't freak out. On this, in each browser, there's usually something called the Network tab, and if you have this open while you're loading the page, it'll be full of a lot of stuff. But because I just opened it now, I haven't made any new requests, nothing's happening. If I scroll the map a little bit, you're going to see it made some requests to get the base map tiles as these square images like this. I can right click on one of these, open a new tab, and you'll see directly where that's coming from in terms of the URL. Let me remove that for a second. You'll see directly where it's coming from in the URL, and you will see what the actual content is. But we don't want the base map, we want the voting precincts. So on the browser, I can use this clear button to go back to start afresh. I'll uncheck voting precincts and then check it back on again. There we go. And new URLs will appear. Let's right click, open a new tab on one of those. So here we're downloading some JSON data. It's kind of complicated, but let's look at the beginning of the URL up to map server/0. This is the voting precincts layer and in that ArcGIS REST services format. So I go down to the bottom, is to find the different fields that are available on this. I click query, and if you haven't seen this before, it's every single possible option you could request from the server. We don't need all of them. We usually need something that's always true, like where 1 equals 1. You could apply other filters on this if you don't want every single option. And then the columns which you want, which I'll just put star. The output spatial reference, which for this I don't know what the default is, but I know what I want is 4326. That's the standard web mapping GPS coordinate format. And then now on the newer Esri services, you'll have a GeoJSON option, which saves the day. JSON here means kind of an Esri JSON, where the configuration is a little different. If you feel comfortable with GeoJSON and JSON data manipulation in general, you could just click JSON and be done with it. KMZ is a Google Earth format, but it can be opened in QGIS. So if you're a JSON programmer, just download the JSON. If you're just give me something to open in QGIS type of person, download the KMZ, and then you can open it up in QGIS to make edits. I'm just going to click JSON so we can take a look at it. Yeah, and then we'll have all the different fields defined here, and then the long lat in these kind of unusually formatted JSON data. There's some libraries out there too, which will also help you more directly go between Esri JSON and GeoJSON. And yeah, this is the only thing I would ask you to check on this is we don't have to worry about this with voting precincts, but these queries are usually limited to a few hundred to up to 1,000 queries or results. So if you have reason to believe that maybe there's like 2,000 results and you're only getting the first page, look at object ID. So I don't think it's going to let me do it here, but you can do Control F and see how many object IDs appear on the page. If it's exactly 100 or 101 or 500, 501, then that's a good hint that it got cut off at one point, and you can go back to the previous page to change how the offset works or to select only object IDs greater than 1000 and sort of do that for some pagination.